Rich Roll is a 55-year-old man who's actually incredibly successful. In fact, he and his wife are in a privileged position because they live in Malibu, not an inexpensive place to live. However, they sleep separately. Why do they do that? And what is their arrangement really like? Well, you're gonna find out more detail in this video. Let's watch.
Rich, why do you sleep in a tent? For those that don't know, for the last 2 years, I've been sleeping outside in this thing. A lot of people have been asking me, why do you do that? And it basically boils down to 3 fundamental reasons. The first is, I just sleep better in a tent outside. The second reason is that it really has helped me connect with nature and the outdoors, and I think our primal disposition. And the third reason I've been doing it is because fundamentally, it's a stoic practice.
Like once you start talking about like fundamental, it was a stoic practice. Like no,
that's not fair.
No, I know. Now I'm being like, I know, I'm going over the top. But like, I was listening until he got to stoic practice. Like really, it's a stoic practice, really.
Well, like first of all, I want to get to the bottom of this mystery. Is that lower third supposed to be playing with Rich? The fact that his name is Rich? So
no.
Rich husband, because we wouldn't normally put that rich husband does this. Did Brett write that?
No, I wrote it.
Interesting.
I thought that it was a good lower third. What's wrong with it?
It is a good lower third, but it's definitely playing with the fact that he's rich. Anyway,
he's literally rich, and his name is Rich. It's a fantastic lower third. It's brilliant.
Rich husband, but what does it matter that he's rich? He's just a husband.
Because if you read that lower third, don't you want to learn more? Like, oh, he's rich, but why does he sleep outside in a tent?
Well, the fact that he's rich means that it's kind of a stoic practice. He lives in a mansion in Malibu, and yet he sleeps in a humble tent, like the great Stoics of old. I don't think that was really a part of Stoicism, but it's sort of a denial thing, a kind of minimalism thing. You've been into that path. Didn't you make me watch the Minimalist documentary or whatever?
I enjoyed the Minimalist documentary.
They might sleep in a tent.
I know, but okay.
Are you saying you do not buy his reasons?
I do not buy his reasons.
What do you think the reason is?
I like the thing that I don't like. Okay, so you guys will understand why I'm having this reaction later in the story, because I'm gonna read a quote from him and then you'll get it, okay? But let me give you more context. I wanna make sure that people have a fair interpretation.
Okay,
you need the details. Roll, Rich Roll. His name is Rich Roll.
I know, that can't be real.
Roll is a former lawyer and a person recovering from alcoholism who at around age 40, adopted a plant-based diet, lost 50 pounds, and completed a 3-day double Ironman triathlon, which is great. Like
that's amazing.
This is amazing stuff, and I'm really happy for him in terms of like recovering from alcoholism. Yeah. That is not easy to do. And by the way, triathlon, not interested in that. Like for me personally.
Can you imagine running 52 miles?
No, cannot imagine that at all. That's a 6.2 mile swim, a 260 mile bike ride, and a 52.5 mile run. He did it in Hawaii. So the guy's impressive, and so kudos to him, snaps to that. Don't want to be too much of a hater.
Sure.
He says that he likes the tent because it allows him to connect with nature.
Yeah.
But it started off as something else. So what did it start off as? And this is the part where I think a lot of people can relate to him. So I'm being fair, you know? He says, kind of the original impetus was, my wife likes the bedroom warm. I like the bedroom cold. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this relationship dynamic, and no matter how much we would try to compromise to make it good for both of us, Julie would always be bundled up under a ton of covers, and I'm sleeping on top of the covers sweating. And then neither of us sleeps, and we get up and we're not happy.
Seems reasonable.
It seems like they're well-to-do. There are other rooms in the house, I assume. I could be wrong. Like,
sure, it's Malibu house, yeah, I assume.
And for me, I mean, that certainly has happened before. Like Christian's body just like radiates heat. Like It's just, he's so hot.
So hot.
He's so hot.
So hot. Can we go one Wednesday show without that exact rate?
No, but like literal, like temperature-wise hot, okay? I'm not talking about how he's fine. He is that, but like that's not what we're talking about.
I'm gonna go sleep in a tent out behind the studio.
And so if I find myself, you know, uncomfortable because of how hot he is, I just get up. John, I'm trying to.
If I'm getting hot and bothered by just looking over and seeing him there.
I go and I sleep in the living room on the couch, and I'm comfortable, and anyway, but let's continue. He was inspired to head outside after a family movie night on their roof, which is flat. They slept there in their sleeping bags. I woke up the next day just feeling amazing from the outdoor air and the cool desert air of Los Angeles. And I was, you live near the beach, bro. There is no desert air, okay?
That's the biome we're in.
No. And I was like, I can't remember the last time I slept so well. So I told Julie, I was like, I'm just gonna sleep on the roof again tonight. He also explained that living in a tent has given him some peace of mind. I also think it's been a cool kind of stoic practice because I live in a really nice house and I have really nice things, but I actually prefer to sleep in the tent. And there's something about that where it gives me comfort. Like if everything went terribly wrong and I lost everything, I know that I'm happy sleeping in a tent and I don't really need that much ultimately. That's where he loses me.
A little bit.
No, a lot of bit.
Yeah.
You know what's really comforting? Knowing that you might enjoy sleeping in a tent, but you don't have to sleep in the tent.
And you live in Malibu, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Other than that, I think, look, if they're happy with this arrangement and she's happy with it, I don't have a problem with it. I like the idea of doing it occasionally. I do think it would be cool to like commune with nature or whatever, but I would not want to do it every night. That seems like way too much. Once a week or once a month maybe, I could kind of see that.
I don't judge their sleeping arrangement at all, okay? I don't judge anyone's sleeping arrangement. I think eventually every marriage ends up with both parties sleeping in separate rooms. Isn't that usually what happens? Like not immediately.
That would not be my guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's fine. I think some do. My guess.
I think a lot of married couples
we're gonna have to
eventually.
Do a poll, aren't we?
We should do a poll. We don't have one ready, but I am curious to hear if any of our
do we have a mod on
members
Twitch?
Or viewers.
Is Brooke in Twitch? She could do one right now.
Okay, that would be great. Brooke, if you're watching, I would love to know if any other members of our audience are sleeping separately in separate rooms during their marriage. Which, by the way, like I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, I don't think so at all. Most minor point, if you had asked me, okay, this guy is gonna explain why he sleeps in his tent as a stoic practice. Where is he doing this explaining? I might guess Joe Rogan first, but the Tim Ferriss show would be my second guess. I just think it's so obvious that it would be on that show that he does that.
Right, bro.
Exactly.
So
nothing against it.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with trying to,
just say you like to sleep alone in a tent. Like there's nothing deep about this. I think it's not deep. You're not deep. This is not deep.
I think it's in pursuit of depth. I think.
We're all just animals looking for comfort, and you're more comfortable not sleeping next to your wife. That's what this is. It's not stoicism. It's not like some deep, profound thing. It's just you like to sleep in a tent. That's it. That's all it is.
What if she asked to sleep in the tent too? Would that ruin it?
Yeah, it would.
Because you'd still have the night air, the cool desert air. You'd still have the communing with nature.
They don't agree on temperature, so.
That is true.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Trust me. No, look. There's a few things about this that are a little bit funny. I think he would even admit that, but there are worse things. There are also far worse lives to have than the freedom to be able to sleep in the backyard of your Malibu Canyon house.
Exactly.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.